or the lifestyle habits that create alkalinity are basically the best way to conquer arthritis. So as I look at the list that my mum was eating, she was eating everything that was creating an environment for arthritis to get out of control. Many people are sick through ignorance. They don't realise what they're doing is creating this. Another herb that can help a lot, and this is in the poultice form, is ginger poultices. And we have seen this help with many people with painful joints. Out that it irritated the skin. So what do? My suggestion is you do a ginger poultice for a couple of hours in the afternoon.
Are you struggling with arthritis or joint pain? Is the pain so severe that you can't even do daily tasks anymore? Then this video might be for you because Barbara O'Neill has revealed something that will address your arthritis right at home. The best part? You don't even have to spend a fortune on your treatment. Ginger Poultice Introduction. Whether it's joint pain or arthritis, which is an advanced cause of joint pain, your doctor would normally prescribe steroids or other pain-relieving medications. These medications essentially work by reducing inflammation at a cellular level. While this sounds pretty amazing on paper, they do come with their own set of side effects. But what if I told you there's another way to help you get rid of that pain that makes even walking sound like a nightmare?
We're looking at all the little bits and pieces that you can do to help the body in its process to heal. And they can be particularly helpful when something goes wrong, when things aren't quite right. They can speed up the healing.
You see, Barbara O'Neill, the naturopath, has revealed that you can get rid of joint pain by using something from your kitchen pantry. What's that? Good old ginger. According to her, a simple poultice can draw out the joint inflammation along with the pain. She says that this can take care of all sorts of pain, like gout, arthritis, or even tiredness after a long day. We normally use a hot water bottle for back pain, but Barbara claims that it's actually bad for you in the long run. Initially, it feels better because the heat from the bottle helps relax your cramped muscles. But as time goes by, the hot water bottle actually increases the inflammation. So what seems like an easy way to relax is actually doing more damage than you might think. Instead, she urges us to go for a ginger poultice. But how exactly does it work? Let's find out. Anti-inflammatory properties.
Ginger is a very powerful anti-inflammatory herb. And what you want to use is the juice. So there's quite a bit of juice coming out of this frozen ginger. So where you would use this, maybe this is a poultice for a toe that's got gout. Maybe this is for an arthritic finger. So you make the poultice in the same way that I made the potato one.
Unlike a hot water bottle, a ginger poultice won't take the pain away instantly. However, slowly, it will take the inflammation away from the joint and towards the ginger itself. Barbara claims that it forces the inflammation away from the joint and towards the skin. That's the reason why your skin feels hot, if you have ginger around it. And when there's no inflammation around the joint or the muscles, it alleviates the pain as well. To understand this concept scientifically, you need to understand how inflammation works. You see, if you have arthritis or tired muscles after a long day, it means that a few cells have died or are in the process of dying at a microscopic level. When your body detects the material seeping out of that dying cell, it sends messengers called cytokines to bring the cleanup crew or the inflammatory cells. These cells are responsible for causing swelling, breakdown of foreign particles, and even pain. Now, research has shown that ginger and its active ingredients have anti-inflammatory properties. These anti-inflammatory agents block these cytokines from calling in the inflammatory cells. And by doing that, it can alleviate pain even from extremely painful conditions like arthritis. Unlike ginger, commonly used medications block the process that converts phospholipids into prostaglandins in the inflammatory pathway. However, there's always a risk associated with them. From common ones like nausea or vomiting to severe ones like liver failure, these drugs always have side effects. That's why people like Barbara advise going for safer and natural treatments, like taking ginger for inflammation or castor oil for tumors. And if you are wondering how exactly you make a poultice, don't worry, Barbara has also given a lecture on that. Preparation method.
See, ginger doesn't keep, if you're going to have it for weeks, it's good to freeze it. But frozen ginger can be grated quite well. So we're going to grate the ginger, and ginger is used for joint inflammation. Joint inflammation, you use your ginger. Ginger is a very powerful anti-inflammatory herb.
To make a ginger poultice, you will need just 4 ingredients, all of which are already available in your home. The first one is ginger, of course, and it's better if it's frozen. You'll understand why in just a moment. The other 3 include a piece of cloth, a 1/2-inch sheet of plastic, and tape. Now, let's go step by step on how to make a poultice. Step 1. Place the cloth on a flat surface and put a grater on top. Step 2. Grate the ginger onto the cloth. Frozen ginger would be better here because it can be grated into small pieces easily. Plus, since it's frozen, it won't leak out all of the juice in an instant, and you can use the poultice for longer. Step 3. Wrap the cloth around itself completely so that the ginger cannot leak out. Step 4. Place the cloth onto a sheet of plastic on just one side and secure it with the tape. And there you have it. Your ginger poultice is ready. Application technique. Okay, so now you have a poultice ready, but how do you use it? Well, Barbara has got you covered there as well. Barbara claims that when you put the poultice on the inflamed area, you should strap it securely and make sure it contacts the skin. For example, if you want to use it for your lower back, you can place it there, and the waistband of your pants or trousers can keep it secured. Then, when you lie down in bed, you have to raise your knees so the poultice is pressed into the back for maximum efficiency.
Lay my hand on it and I pray. I ask God to please bless the poultice, the ginger that he made, and the person that they might find relief.
But if you want to use it for some other part of your body, you should secure it with tape. Also, it goes without saying that you need to make sure that the cloth is in contact with the skin and not the plastic. Otherwise, the ginger juice won't seep into your skin and work its magic. The plastic is there to keep your clothes from getting stained. Another thing you need to be wary of is not wrapping it too tightly. You need the circulation to work. Duration and frequency. Now, to a much more important aspect of this remedy, when to use this poultice. Barbara says that when you bandage it around your site of inflammation, it won't immediately calm your pain. Instead, you will feel that area start to heat up. And according to her, that's the inflammation moving towards the skin.
And let's say a lady has a painful joint here, an arthritic joint. Then you would put it on there and then you bandage it on. Now my suggestion is, if you've got any painful joints and you're going to use ginger, apply it about 6 o'clock in the evening.
Some people will find that heat to be too intense, and she says that if you reach that point and it's uncomfortable for you, just remove the poultice and don't push through the pain. But if it isn't too much, you should endure it as the heat comes in phases. You see, there will be a heat phase, followed by a period of ease and then heat again. She also says that you shouldn't worry about the heat as it will never burn your skin. It's completely normal, and it's just an indication of the inflammation moving towards your skin. According to the naturopath, you should either use it for just 2-3 hours a day or leave it on overnight, in which case you shouldn't use it during the day as well, or you would risk causing damage. Because remember, excess of everything is bad.
So what I say to people, if you're going to use it for gout, arthritis, an inflamed joint, just do it for 2-3 hours a day. Or you can do it overnight, but don't do it through the day. Just have a rest. Your body will let you know. You watch the response. So that's the ginger poultice. Because it's grated vegetable matter, once you've used it, you discard it. And that's the beauty of a poultice. When you take it off, you just can drop the whole thing into the bin. You call it trash. Or if you're visiting a friend and they've got a sore knee and they're unable to put it on now, you can make them one and put it in the fridge. I probably wouldn't keep it more than about 12 hours, but...
On the other hand, if you don't overdo it, this treatment has quite a few benefits. Potential benefits. We've already discussed this simple remedy's anti-inflammatory properties and pain relief, but it has more benefits. One of them is joint mobility. When inflammation is removed, it reduces edema or swelling, which helps increase joint mobility. If you incorporate ginger into your diet, it can help raise your immunity, keep your mouth clean, fight cancer, lower cholesterol, and even reduce the pain from period cramps. Furthermore, if you are suffering from arthritis, you can even combine it with other herbs for a natural, holistic approach to managing it. For example, you can use aloe vera, While we prefer to use it to improve our skin or treat burns, it actually has some anti-inflammatory properties as well. The best part is that all you have to do is massage the gel onto the skin and you are done. You could have both, better skin and relief from pain. Moving on to Boswellia, which is derived from the gum of the Boswellia trees. Many alternative medicine practitioners use it to treat rheumatoid arthritis. Simply massage its oil onto the joints and you are good to go. Another natural remedy is cat's claw, which is actually an herb. It comes from the bark and root of a tropical vine that grows in South and Central America. It has anti-inflammatory properties and can boost the immune system. An interesting thing to note is that it can suppress tumor necrosis factor, just like the drugs given to you by a doctor. Eucalyptus is also an herb that can help you change your life. The extract from its leaves can be used topically to relieve arthritic pain. The extract has an active ingredient called tannin, which can reduce pain and swelling in the joints. Coming back to the herbs in your kitchen, another herb you could use is turmeric. Its main ingredient, curcumin, has anti-inflammatory properties that can relieve pain. Plus, this herb is commonly used in Chinese medicine, so you know it works. Lastly, you could always drink the good old green tea, especially if you are using ginger in it. Green tea has many antioxidants. While it's not famous for pain relief, it does help relieve inflammation and ultimately, pain in the joints. We already know that excess of anything is bad, right? So you should use these poultices in moderation. Even Barbara has told about one of her patients, where she liked the treatment so much, she started doing it too often.
A lady watched my lectures. She saw the ginger. She did it to her swollen, painful knee. She was so excited. It got very hot, but the next day she could move her knee and it was not near as painful. She was so excited about it that she put another one on. And then in the middle of the day she put another one on. And then she put another one overnight. And when she woke up in the morning, the knee was swollen, all inflamed, the skin was, and it had like little blisters there. She emailed me and she said, "Barbara, what have I done?" And I laughed. I said, "It's all right, I've just overdone it." You've pulled too much inflammation out of the joint at once and it's irritated the skin. She said, "What can I do now?" I said, "Don't put any ginger on for a few days." But by the way, the knee was feeling so much better. It really was just the tissues and the skin was inflamed.
After a few days, she woke up to a swollen knee that was in a lot of pain, and there were even blisters on the skin. Thankfully, she was safe as Barbara told her to stop the treatment immediately for some time, and only to do it in moderation, as this treatment has its risks as well. These risks can include worsening inflammation, skin reactions, and pain. Plus, you should be extra careful if you are allergic to ginger. In that case, you should stay away from them. Otherwise, you can have reactions ranging from skin rashes to full-blown anaphylactic shock. I know that sounds scary, but don't worry. Barbara has given us many stories that prove that this remedy actually works. Personal testimonials. The first one comes from her mother. You see, when she was just a teenager, her mother had fallen sick and felt a lot of pain in her muscles and joints. While her father believed that it was because of the stress she was under, Barbara decided to get in touch with another herbalist, who invited her mother for a 7-day retreat. With all of them convinced, they sent her to the herbalist. And a week later, they received a call that said her mother was pain-free. Imagine that. While doctors had given up on medicine and said that surgery was the only option left, the herbalist had gotten rid of her pain with something you can grow in your garden. Another story involves a barrister who came to her program for help. The man was quiet and only said what was necessary. One night, he came to her and said that he had an upright toe, which was quite embarrassing for him since he had to wear slippers when he was in court. According to doctors, he had gout, and the man was clueless about how to fix his problem. The solution? Barbara advised him to use the ginger poultice for one night only and see the result. The next morning, when she was out, she saw him running toward her while screaming. Now you'd think that he would be complaining about the heat, right? Instead, he was screaming in excitement that his toe had been fixed. After 18 months of agonizing pain and embarrassment, he could move his toe and even wear shoes again. Just like this man, another patient used the poultice for gout in his toe. After each night, the inflammation seemed to jump to the next toe, so he would use it on that one, and then the next day, it had moved to the next one. So he repeated the treatment until the inflammation had run out of toes to jump on, and he was good to go. So you see, this home remedy can not only save you from pain, but also from a lot of medications and medical bills. Just be sure to use it in moderation. And that's all for today's video, folks. What do you think? Will you use it? If so, let us know about your experience in the comments below.